I said certified freak, 7 days a week, wet and gushy, make that pull-out game weak.
Hello and welcome to the Johnny Danger Show. I'm Johnny Danger, coming to you live from the Danger Zone. And today we bring you another special episode of the Saturday Morning Podcast, where we bring you the latest and greatest in internet news, but we bring it to you today. And today we have a very special episode. We have a lot in store. And we're going to be talking about a lot of different topics. But right now, I just want to say, from the top.
Now from the top, make you drop it somewhere. Now get a bucket and a mop that somewhere.
Alright, round of applause,
that somewhere.
Alright. Shout outs to Shuba. That's where that song comes from. I had that song stuck in my head all morning. And I'm just glad I was able to get it out of my system and bring it out to you guys. So that being said, we have a wonderful show for you today. Thank you. We're going to be talking about Tomi Lahren. Apparently she's, well, another hot take. You know Tomi Lahren, telling you how it is. We're going to be talking about the internet being a scary place. Seriously, actually, that one's going to be a very interesting topic. And a serious message with peace and love. Peace and love. Seriously. all today on the Danger Zone. One more round of applause, because, you know, I deserve it, right? So let's get right into it. Tomi Lahren, right? So in case you don't know who Tomi Lahren is, she is a very predominantly right-winged talk show host, whatever. One of the, like, you know, like the Ben Shapiro's, the Candace Owens, one of those, right? And so I haven't really heard much about her from the last couple of weeks, but the one thing that I do know is that she's back. Here she is on TikTok making her rounds. Well, let's see what she has to say.
Wants to make more woke films that tank at the box office, they are more than welcome to do that. But maybe think of an original idea. Maybe not destroy a classic from my childhood and put an actress in there that not only hates the plot and the storyline of the movie she's in, but also seemingly hates Snow White, the character herself. I mean, that's one interview clip that you read the quote from, but she's gone on to talk about this film numerous times, how she once thought Snow White was creepy, she doesn't like the prince, she thinks she should get paid more because she has to wear that dress. She should get paid for streaming for every hour she has to wear the dress. I mean,
all right, round of applause. Yeah, yay! Where are we? Yay! Round of applause. Thank you. So she's back, right?
About biting the hand that
She's still going on. I guess we could just play it on the back.
Not only are you being casted in a classic film to remake it, but you don't seemingly like your own character. So she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat, and that's why people are so annoyed. Beyond just them inserting feminism, I think we expect that at this point. But why do you have to mess with a classic, especially with someone who doesn't even seem to like her own character?
Based, right? Round of applause. I mean, she came out of retirement for that. So, you know, if you ever wondered if your favorite podcast hosts, such as Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Matt Walsh, all those guys, if you think they're completely different than each other, this goes to show you. No, they're not. They're all the same. Round of applause. All right, I'm sorry if these are your people. I'm sorry, but they're not telling you anything differently, anything shocking. They're just staying between the lines. They're not pushing any real narrative change, right? It's just it's regargled piece of shit. I mean, like, that's so late bait. I mean, I talked my take on it was better than this jargon of repetitive, repeated shit. Anyways, moving on. So the internet's a very super scary place. Actually, do I want to talk about what we talked about last week? Am I even streaming on Facebook right now? Oh, I messed up, I think. Oh, Facebook is not gonna get this today. Let's see if I can fix that. Oh, I can just repost. Well, let's find out where I'm streaming first, because now we're derailing the whole show at this point. Started off strong though, right? All right, so oh no, I'm good. I'm good. Perfect. All right, so because I know some of my Facebook friends, and in case you were wondering why I didn't stream on Facebook last week, is because they mute all my videos, so you might not be able to watch what I post. You're like literally only catching it live, that 1 hour segment once a week, or that's it. Another segment that I started doing, if you were here last week, was the Audible books, which people seem to like and actually get comments on on YouTube. So that's more traffic than I've ever generated with my Fortnite content. So we might have to reevaluate my Fortnite content. Even though I have a lot of fun with it, it's just a lot of work. More work than even this, if you believe that. Because you have to essentially become as competitive as these kids that grew up like literally from the age of 4. Like there's a literal toddler that can murk people in that game. So what is my 44 year, I'm not 44, but you know, my 40-year ass, I'm not 40 yet, but you said what I'm saying, right? My 40-year-old ass ain't gonna compete. So that being said, let's just move past it, right? If you were a big fan of Tommy Loren, you know. But last week I did have my 4-hour special, even though it wasn't a 4-hour special. We talked about the whole red pill debate, you know, the whole topic of women and men, and how there's a big narrative going on right now, and there's a lot of talking points that are being portrayed. I want to just show you a quick recap, right, of one of the points that I made. And here's a visualization of the archetype that we've learned, right? But I just can't help. There's always, and just to show you more proof of what archetype we've seen over and over again, but just let me stop this music really quick. All right, but we've grown so accustomed to this this formula, right? This boy meets girl formula, where the nice guy always finishes last, right? This is another example of how we see it.
You. It's like wanting to touch a star. You know you'll never reach it, but you've just got to keep trying.
Why do you always say things like that?
These last 2 weeks have been wonderful for me. It's the closest I'll ever get to marrying you. That's why I wanted you to have this. No strings attached, just the one to my heart.
I mean, come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. My panties are moist from this. Are you kidding me? Like, you kidding me? I'm sorry. All right.
The biggest lesson I learned.
All right. Round of applause. That was by, who was that by? That was inappropriate. I apologize. Like, god damn, son. Like, how could you not care about the guy that cares about you? But here we go. I'm just gonna show you some more clips where there's some double standards and where you might see it. And I'm gonna hop off the topic. We're not gonna get back into it. I didn't get to touch on, right, social proofing, right? This is what happens when a girl doesn't even need to know anything about the guy, as long as other people can tell them stuff about the guy, right? He's a nice guy. Be good to him, right? That's one of the pickup moves. This is my friend John. He's a good guy. Be good to him. Don't hurt him, right? Okay, this guy's telling me he's a good guy. He just ID proofed him. In other ways that you can be ID proofed or socially proofed is with a lot of followers. There was this footage that I found where this guy has this app that makes it look like he has a lot of followers. He'll show it to girls like he's live streaming, and you'll see he has like a lot of a double-digit amount of people who are watching him. and they're like immediately intrigued, like, who are you? Who is this guy? So if you need other people to make your decision for you, you didn't make the decision, period. But here's just 2 more videos, and we're not going to get into it completely. I just want to touch up on it, and then we'll talk about how the internet's a really scary place. Ready?
And all that, 6 figures, 6 feet tall. I'm still single, 44 years old. So all y'all women out here talking about your...
Wait, hold on. I should credit this video. Kendra G Media. Kendra G Media. This video is brought to you by Kendra G Media. Posted 2 days ago.
looking for the man that's 6 feet tall and dark and all that. Say that nonsense. Why am I still single?
Yo.
Explain it to me.
Yo.
Okay, Robert, you coming in hot now.
All right. You ever noticed, right? Ready? Hold on. Whenever somebody can't answer a question, how long it takes, that period of time that it takes to answer the question gets longer, right? And it's never like, if you ask me a question that I can't answer, I'll immediately tell you, I don't know. There's some people who claim to be experts, but when you directly ask them a question, they fold and they need to like make it up. That's how you know whether one's disingenuous or not. For example, last week I showed a video of Myron, and Myron, they would literally be asked a generic question, a basic, straightforward question like, do you think men have more emotional or less emotional intelligence than women? And you could tell that he voiced the shit out of the question because it's not a question that he can answer. Or if he can answer honestly, it's going to make him look bad or his cause look bad. So he's not really about the truth. It's just a way for him to like have this narrative so he can continue his venue. Same with this lady. This man just pointed out the fact that I'm 6 feet tall. I have 6 figures, and something else. I forgot what else he brings to the table. Why am I still single? Why am I still single? That's a good question. Why am I still single? Notice how she's not answering the question, right? Let's just go back to that moment, because that moment tells you everything you need to know. Is whenever you directly ask somebody a question, what happens next? Shortly after. If it's not the answer, then it's not the answer. That's all I can say. So here we go.
Why am I still single?
Pause. That's a good question. Ooh, that's a good question. What the fuck do I do? Here we go.
Explain it to me.
So far, nothing. Looking down, a lot of avoidant behavior. She made a sound effect, which is something, but it's not the answer.
Okay, Robert,
You're coming in hot.
now.
Okay, so now she's describing the question that was asked. Still, not answering the question.
Well, Byron is for you.
Okay, wait, what? Is now the answer a question directed back to the person asking the question?
I think men are the pursuers. So why do you think you're single?
Oh, so it's your fault that you're single. A lot of women, especially, I'm guessing in his net worth, have explicitly explained that they want a man, which is, you can say this, right? You can say this. They prefer a man who's over 6 feet. You can say this. You've seen videos, and this is a real thing. The real people, that doesn't matter to, right? If it's a guy or a girl, height doesn't matter, weight shouldn't matter. It's personality and vibing. People who don't really get it say it's 6 figures, 6 feet, blah blah blah. So here's this man generally asking a question. Well, like, hi, hey, I'm this. Why am I not popping off? Why am I not being chased down in the streets? Okay, well, it's your fault. What are you doing? Are you pursuing? But like, no, I did all this so I would be pursued. That's the point, right? I'm tired of going after someone and being rejected. I'm gonna elevate myself to be more valuable, so that you come to me and I can determine whether or not you're a favorable match for me. So what's going on? Now it's his fault. Let's go.
I refuse to settle.
And what?
So now there he is. He's qualifying himself. He's like, I refuse to settle, and now it's his fault. And now he it feels like he came to the general realization that it's his fault. He's indecisive, too indecisive. And no, my friend, you are okay. You did everything you were supposed to do, and now here you are holding the bag because everyone else told you what you were supposed to be, and now you don't know who you are. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. I'm sorry. I feel like I should play a round of applause, but this is not a round of applause moment. I get uncomfortable with silences. So moving on, right? Because we're trying to move on. There's 2 more videos that I wanted to show, and I don't remember why I wanted to show this other video. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's not just hard out here for men. Here's this lady looking out for a good guy. Here we go.
Finally, my first time getting hit on in Home Depot, and he's not even attractive. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm here all the time. So for all you people who are like, go to Home Depot, that's where all the men are. No, they're not.
Round of applause for this one. That's so hurtful. Yo, it's so hurtful. So not only did everybody else tell you that there were men that were like ready to hit on you at Home Depot, I guess they lied to you, right? Again, if somebody else has to make your decision for you, it's not your decision. All right, and then I guess this last one, here we go. Oh, God.
We're feeding into their delusions. They think they can fool every one of us now. They are incorrect.
Oh, God.
We need to stop lowering our standards. Okay, lady?
The real delusion is that these women think that they look any better than these men that they're...
Guys, this is just hurtful rhetoric. Stop it. So, yeah, both sides of the fence, I feel like, are getting really frustrated with this, with what's going on. There's a break in communication, and people are not, I guess, match pairing as well as they used to. That's all I'm trying to point out when I notice this topic being talked about. That's all I'm going to talk about. That's last we're going to talk about it. Let's move on. All right. So, all right, something more chill. You're not safe on the internet. Hold on. You are not safe on the internet. Here, let me show you how. Yo, this is freaking scary. Was it this video? Hold on. Oh, God. All right, so I'm going to show you this girl. Lady that I'm about to talk to, please don't come and find me. I'm just showing everyone how easy and scary this is. So I found this lady. Her name is Shay.Nannygans87. And right off the bat, I'm like just scared to talk about this because anybody can do this. And the reason I'm showing you, and I'm even questioning the fact that I can show you this because it might invoke more people. So right off the bat, I'm going to just tell you right off the bat, do not do this. This is weird and gross. She's doing it to just show people that this is a possibility, to be careful by posting your pictures on the internet. This is how easy people can find you. So here we go. This lady, Shenanigans. Oh, I get it. Shenanigans. 87. Has a TikTok, and what she does is find you. Here she goes.
Israel 100% can't find you? This letter you wrote your daughter.
So like, oh God. So what she does is she looks through personal pictures, videos, and Instagrams, Facebooks, everything. She goes through your shit. And she finds little details. And then that's how she finds you. She makes this whole TikTok based off how she can find anybody. And certain people challenge her. They go, you can't find me. This is fake. And they fuck around and find out. So let's find out. Here we go.
Santa's elf had her last name. This letter you wrote your daughter from Santa's elf had her last name on it, so now I knew your last name. When you tagged your friend in this post, I went to his profile, and he had his full name, so I was easily able to find his Facebook, and his friends were not private, so I went to his friends list, and look who the second person was. That's you, buddy. And I noticed that you posted this, where the second tab in your browser had an entire address from a realtor site. So I looked that up, looked the tax records up on it, but you weren't the owner. But I found you in the same city You owned this place. And I knew it was yours because behind you here you could see this fan, and when I went inside on the Zello pictures, it was the same fan. And I know that's not enough, but look at the floors here. Those tiles matched perfectly to the kitchen.
And she's slick too. Like, you saw how she put a sticker over the baby, because, you know, obviously you have to protect the children in the picture. You have a massive platform, but she's also delaying it to show the person, like, hey, you want to play this game, stop playing. Look who is in jeopardy if you play this game. Stop posting stuff on your social media. So that's the scary thing about the internet, is because it's essentially punishing you for being yourself. And a society right now, the way that it is it caters to evil thoughts, right? It caters to, if you're greedy, will become successful. If you continues to bend the truth, you will be believed. And if you're a creepy guy that likes to stalk people, you can do it, right? She's showing you that, hey, if you're creepy enough, you can do this. Please don't do this. This is the worst thing you could do to somebody. People, I know they put it on their social media to make it public, but it's public to their friends. They want to show their friends how they're living and how they're doing without actually being friends, you know, there. So unfortunately, now we're coming to a place where we have to, like, be so private that not even our friends can find out about us. But essentially, we're gonna have to go back to analog friending. Just do it in person.
As well as the carpet you can see here.
But the whole point of this is that she's gonna show you where you shit. So
in this video, so let's see where you dump.
So there it is. She found out where this guy takes a dump. So that's scary. It's possible. That's one way people can essentially target you on the internet. Now, here's a second video of how people can target you on the internet. This video is brought to you by quantum.stellar.i. Quantum.stellar.j. Sorry, .i. That's an I. .i. That's just gentleman right here. He's about to talk about the original video brought to you by Cinase IDO official. It's right here. I'm sure it's somewhere here, guys. I apologize. I'm not the best at tagging and stuff like that. I just started out doing this. But here's another way someone can target you and your internet provider. That's it, right? If somebody, oh no, this is not the internet provider. Hold on, I'm sorry, guys. This is the phone one. Oh, I lost it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Round of applause, John. All right, we'll just we'll move on. Dead Space, right? Okay. That's unfortunate. So I'll just tell you what the video was about. The video was about how this lady calls up a internet provider, pretends to be the guy's wife, puts a baby in the background, and not a real baby, just a audio recording of a baby crying, pretending she's so hectic. Hey, I just need you to do this. Oh, I need you to add me onto the account. Oh, da 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 da. Boom. She has access to change his password, everything. Find out anything she wants about him. So it's getting to a point where we're not even protected from ourselves, right? And if you're asking how easy it is to socially hack, to technologically hack, technologically hack should be harder. But here's a little kid.
Through playing a video game. 14-year-old Riley Howard often plays with friends and strangers, recently meeting a 13-year-old boy from Florida through a game. In talking to him, Riley sensed...
So this is a video of this little kid, and he's a competitive gamer. But something that you notice in this video is that
This teen saved a life.
his character keeps on disappearing and reappearing. I don't know if I can get closer.
Through playing a
Hold
video
on.
game.
And he looks at the camera like,
A video game.
This is terrible. Like, oh shit, can you see what I'm doing?
14-year-old Riley Howard.
He's like, just don't record my monitor. But I don't know if you can see this, but his character is disappearing and reappearing over and over again. This is what they're calling a spin bot. A spin bot allows you to essentially makes you so sporadic that you're unable to aim appropriately. You cannot pinpoint where the person is, missing all your shots. And this kid is literally being interviewed by his local media source and revered as a competitive gamer.
Saved a life through playing a video game.
He saved a life
Riley Howard often
playing a video
plays with
game.
Friends and strangers. Recently meeting a 13-year-old boy from Florida through a
Right,
game.
right.
In talking to him, Riley sensed something wasn't right.
Yeah, right. And he's a hero. Round of applause. But there he is, right? Society. And that's why this system does not work, right? I've been watching the show, which we're going to talk about later. It's a podcast hosted by a man named Ethan Klein. He's a very talented podcast host. But he started talking about the differences between our structure right now, financial structure right now, and a different type of structure. And he's for it. The problem with it is that it bear with me, I'm trying to verbalize this correctly. It rewards bad behavior and punishes good ones. So it makes it a lot harder for an altruistic person to gain traction compared to a morally inept person. You can see this with content creators such as XQC, who's willing to sell a large portion of his image to a gambling website who has no one's best interest involved, right? He's literally selling his soul for money. So that's capitalism, baby, right? But here's some jokes that may make some sense in this current state that we're in, which may show you why, capitalism failed. So here's the video.
Tax the rich? Nah. Seize the means of production? Yeah. As long as you allow capitalists to control production and exploit the workers.
Oh, hold on. I have to add this. This video is made by Edward Mliger. M-I-L-I-G-E-R. Mliger. Hopefully I'm saying that right. You go ahead and like and follow his video. All right, go on.
Or surplus value. You're going to continue to accumulate more and more capital and wealth and then use that wealth to control the government. You could tax them to pay for good things like healthcare or other benefits for the workers.
Which is, by the way, something that you should do, right? Because communally, we should all have the same benefits, right? We should all be able to eat. We should all be able to sleep. We should all be able to have passionate lovemaking with our significant others. There's just certain things you should be guaranteed as a human person because, you're a human person. But there's certain things you can't get right now with our current structure. And I guess to try to explain it the best way that I can, let me just draw you a picture. If I can explain it the best way that I possibly can, and this is gonna be so crude, and so I apologize right off the bat. All right, this is, can you see it? This is a big giant mess. I'm gonna have to just do this really quickly because I'm gonna have to show my display. Bear with me, guys. All right, I'm guessing you guys can see this. So, essentially, the economy is like a human person. let's just pretend, right? Or society is like a human person. Our liquidity, our finances, we will say, is like the blood. It runs through the whole body, the whole ecosystem, and it has to be distributed equally through all the appendages, right? The hands, the feet, right? The vital organs. The working class are like the hands and the feet, right? They're very useful. But if the rest of the body goes, the hands and feet are also useless. And the 1% of the population, the rich people, are like the brains, right? The perfect analogy, right? They're the smartest ones. They're able to pool their resources together to accumulate wealth. The blood should flow evenly throughout the whole body. But what capitalism and trickle-down economics is doing, it's allowing for all the blood to accumulate right here. And that what if you were to ask the question, how would that look like in the human body if all the blood pooled in the head? This would be called a hemorrhage, a blood hemorrhage. With a round of applause. And a hemorrhage is bad. So you want to make sure that the blood is evenly distributed through the whole body. And what happens to the production, right? If you limit the amount of circulation to the fingers, that's right. You can lose your hands. And even though the rest of the body still works, it's a lot harder. So round of applause, right? Am I right, everybody? I'm sorry I had to do it like that, but come on. All right, let me just fix my stream really quick. All right, here we go. Back to what I was saying. Okay, so he said that, right? Which he makes a lot of points. Which are pretty good points, and let's just move on to my next point. Is how the government be like. So I saw this by user 7818768355549. Essentially, this is how the government is for other silly things that cost way more money than really we need. And we might need actually a fighter jet, to be honest, because of what's going on right now. But this is how they be like for stupid little minor transactions, right? And it's just showing a monopoly of you know, why are you so inept to my little purchases compared to your multi-billion ones, is I guess what I was trying to get at with that one. I do think we need our military, but still.
And if social programs don't change what's wrong with the system at its core, which is that the means of production are owned privately by a small group of capitalists and bankers.
Oh, that's right. I was also yeah, he made a good point about that. So essentially the conclusion that I was gonna get to is that we start to resemble like the kingdoms in England, right? Only certain families ended up with wealth, and this bourgeoisie society ends up resulting in riots and fall, right? And so there has been a question that had been circulating recently, which was, why are so many people talking about the Roman Empire? And the reason is because, and this video that I can show you in a second states, essentially, is because we're mimicking it. The fall is looking like it's about to happen with us because everything's so crazy. So unless we can figure out how to correct what we're doing wrong, the same sort of financial collapse may happen to us. Just think Venezuela, people. Anyways, let's finish this video.
Continually exploit the rest of us for our labor to create more and more surplus value. The system is based upon the exploitation of labor by a small class of people who don't themselves labor. They manage production.
So it's like I get to decide how you live your life, even though I don't have to do nearly as much as you do. And because society gives me more money, I can pretend like what I do is way more important than what you do.
politics and society in a way that's not always beneficial for all of us. So
Yeah.
ultimately, we have to change the system at its core, or it'll keep doing the things that we don't like.
Yeah. So round of applause. That was Edward Mliger. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong or if it sounds bad. But that was that segment. Scary internet. All that. What else we got? And I don't really know what communism is, so I can't really tell you what it is.
Well, I just...
Oh, okay. So here you go. Roman Empire. We'll touch on this really quickly. And then finally, if we have enough time. Okay, we got like 20 minutes. So we'll touch upon the Roman Empire really quickly. We'll talk about toxic masculinity. So this is an interesting topic because apparently in Puerto Rico, toxic masculinity is there's a budget being set aside for this. We'll talk about it in a second. But the Roman Empire, we just want to touch upon this really quick. So here's this video by Conscious_Lone Wolf 369. And so he posts himself reacting to this, which is a form of copyright.
Have you guys heard about this trend about
let's just watch it really
asking their
quickly.
husbands or boyfriends about the Roman Empire? Well, I just found the best response ever. Listen to this one.
Whoops,
Do you
sorry.
ever think about the Roman Empire? All the time. Why? What are you thinking about it?
Well, because we're in those times right now. Everybody's preoccupied with sports, movies.
Not everybody, but yeah, we are.
Work.
And can I also point out this little piece of information, which is interesting, actually. Bread and circus, right, is what he's referring to, and that's what he's going to eventually say. So he says, everyone's distracted with sports and movies and so on and so forth. If you ever seen a Doomsday Prepper, they'll tell you the most important things, right? There's this video called How to Survive in an Urban Scenario During an Apocalypse, right? So he gives you the basic food, shelter, and then he says the most important thing is a video game. He goes, when you're all by yourself and surviving by yourself in an apocalyptic situation, you need to make sure you keep your mind sane by keeping around entertainment. So that's why Bread and Circus works so well, is because as long as my belly's full and I'm distracted by the reality of what we're experiencing, I'm happy. But that only works for so long. But let's see what this gentleman, and hopefully I can turn it up a little bit so we can hear it.
What
was he said about bread?
And hold on, I just want to make sure this guy has. He literally watches this whole video and says nothing. This guy to the bottom right, he literally reposted this, so don't follow him. Follow if you have to follow anybody, JJP43 Avery. Shout out Wavery to the HD podcast. But I don't know. This is a steal of a steal, so I can't. I just wanted to show this.
Do you ever think about the Roman Empire? All the time. Why? What are you thinking about it?
Well, because we're in those times right now.
Which is based.
Preoccupied with sports, movies, work.
Yep.
What was he said about bread?
Bread and Circus, baby.
The common people. Roman Empire said that everybody was
There's like two people reacting to this. It's gross.
The rich got richer and the poor got poorer. And they worried constantly about people rioting. Because they knew that the common man, the common people, could take over at any time.
Really?
So they would bring them in.
I don't know if at any time. I don't know. I mean, it'll take a lot of work. If in modern times the people would want to raise power to do something, it would take a lot of planning and organization. So it's not something that can be accomplished right now. So instead of fighting for your own, you might see a lot of people leaving, right? Nobody who's the migrants that are leaving those countries, those third world countries right now, aren't leaving because they're happy with the way that their economy is, right? Or their government was working. The same way here is like, we're going to be tired of what's happening here and we're going to leave. They're leaving their place and coming to a more modernized version of their place. But at the same time, They're gonna find out real quick.
To the Colosseums, and they would give them free grain, they would give them bread, they would give them wine, whatever they needed to fill their bellies and block their minds from what they were angry about. They would watch plays.
Yeah.
They would watch.
And which is sucks because it's like you need this stuff, but it also distracts you from the stuff that needs to get done. And with the generation that's taking care of us right now, they were the baby boomers, right? They were taken care of by the silent generation. They don't know what it's like to strap their boots up. That's why they always walk around projecting that, because they don't know what it means. You guys just have to pick yourself up from your bootstraps, whatever that means. So round of applause for Bread and Circus, right? And for content stealing, apparently. I guess I promote that now. But see here, I got this video of this guy, right? This guy's literally, and he looks like he has money, right? Whatever he's wearing right now, he's got money. But apparently, he's leaving the United States.
Indonesia is my starting point, and kind of gonna go explore from there, because there's got to be something better out there than how it's going here. Just everything sucks. Whether it's you're trying to buy a house, you're looking for a relationship, you're trying to get healthcare, you're trying to even get groceries now. It's like there's got to be something.
Because, but like, if at the same time, if you think about it, like, how much healthcare do you think you're gonna get in Indonesia, right? You can't deny the fact that our medicine is better than their medicine. But I will say this, when I was in a third world country and I got sick, I went to a hospital there. They saw me. It took a long time for them to process me, right? I got a bed. I waited for a long time. They did the lab. I waited a long time. They did the analysis. I waited a long time, and I got my medication. But it was still the same day, but it just took a long time. But I walked in, walked out, and I felt better. So shouts out to third world countries, right? Whoops, that's what I meant to do. So yeah, it's happening. People are leaving, and all the rich people who became rich using our corrupt little society system, right? They're taking their money and leaving you with the bag. So congratulations. You're not going to see any of the financial heroes, right, of 2008. You're not going to see Ben Bernanke, right? You're not going to see Alan Greenspan anywhere. Where are they, right? All this shit's going down right now. Where are they? Telling you that the American society is the most resilient force ever. Bounce back from this, right? Why did we have to use quantitative easing for so long? I'm going to explain to you what the economic grift is, right? And how all of us who are in this country right now got finessed. Ready? Watch The Big Short and to understand what this is, and you're gonna watch it until you understand what happened. Then I'm gonna point to this fact, right? The Big Short is all about how these people became rich shorting the market. And if you don't know what shorting means, it's when you bet against, saying this company is gonna fail, and I know it's gonna fail. It's only a matter of time. They can sell that short at a less price that it would cost to sell the asset that you thought you invested in. I don't know how this works, right? It's still confusing, but you can sell that at a higher rate than the original market price for the asset ever was. So you can potentially become a multi-millionaire from betting against the company. So how can this be exploited? Ready? So they can give you a stock, right, a failing company, and tell you that it's a up and coming company. They can raise the price because everyone wants it, right? This price is delegated by the need, the demand. So everyone's on this trend. They're saying, oh, I'm gonna invest in GameStop. You see where I'm going already? And the price of GameStop stock price goes up. Everyone's like, okay, this is a good investment. I'm going to sell it high whenever it stops to go up. Here's the problem. Someone tricked you to thinking that this is a good stock. Eventually, the market has to regulate itself because reality sets in, and the price massively drops. But before it massively drops, you're gonna sell it, making some money. and the last person holding the stick loses their money. So not only can you encourage someone to buy this stock and make money off of selling the stock and then having the stock and then selling the stock when it's about to go down, but you can also, remember, bet against it, right? So now you become rich from selling it to suckers, and then you become extra rich from selling the short to those same suckers so that they don't lose as much money, which is a great little hustle, right? Right? Round of applause. No, actually boo that one. Yeah, it's a great little hustle until, right, the rest of the economy fucking pays for it, because then you have banks about to close and we have to pay our tax monies to keep them open, because if they close, it's worse for us. So hopefully, if anybody is listening who understands, if the government's listening to me right now, I hope you understand this is coming with peace and love. They finessed you. Let's move on. That's all I'm gonna say. Round of applause. And finessed all of us, to be honest. We should all be hella mad that this happened, but what are we gonna do at this point? They took it. They took it and they went to a third world country, and now they're living like fucking extra royalty and not paying any taxes to us. All right, toxic masculinity. I'm sorry, guys. I know I go back into financial stuff, but it's just it makes me so upset that the life that we have, like I'm working double, making double than what I ever made, and I'm still doing worse than I was a year ago. If you can explain that to me. Let's move on. Goofs and gas time. Let's do a jokey joke. This is cool. And this even shows you like how skilled other countries are at doing stuff. This would have taken an American catering company an hour to do. Like, could you picture an American catering company putting one plate down at a time, talking to their work friend about what's happening at Vanderpump's whatever? I don't even know what that is. I just watched Stage Troop podcast, but you know, Vanderpump Rules or something. Becky, can you believe that Tracy and Nikki? Oh, girl, you have no idea. And seriously, if I ever see that guy in person, I'm gonna tell him off in person. Boom. All right, we're halfway done. Meanwhile, in 17 seconds, this lady set up this whole tables. So I'm just gonna point that out too. All right, moving on. Let's go. We're hosting a great show. All right, we have the last 10 minutes, I think. We're at the last 10 minutes. So a serious message. So this is gonna be so funny. I love this. Okay, so as we know, a couple weeks ago, we talked about delusional disorder and how I might possibly have it. I also told you about one of my psychoses where I believe that the H3 podcast is signaling to me that they are interested and making a decision, but they're just, you know, doing their due diligence to make sure that I'm not a piece of shit. You know, because obviously you don't want, especially with media, you don't want bad people to. They're gonna dig up everything, right? And so before they go ahead and, you know, ruin my privacy, which I'm already doing, right? But before they do that, they want to make sure that every T and dot is I's crossed, so on and so forth. If this is true, and if this is just something in my head. So I'm just gonna quickly do my best sales pitch. Do my best sales pitch. So it's gonna be a moment of me explaining what I can be doing there and blah blah blah, and why I think it would be great, and then followed by a little goof and gaff. So here we go. Bam. I don't know what that was. All right. So what I could do there, I've been thinking about it, is because I'm multi-talented, I can do multiple things, right? I went to school for graphic design. I can edit images. I can do a little video editing, very small. I can reach out to people, so I'm a good writer, so I can reach out to people for potential guests. Maybe I can even reach out to people for potential sponsorships. I don't know if you guys have people for that too. I can do essentially what I'm suggesting is to do I don't want to say the word B work, right? I could do everything that everyone doesn't have chance to complete because they're so busy, right? I can do a little bit of everything. I can take the workload off of, you know, if say Cam needs some images to be transparent, or if a video clip needs to be shortened, or if any videos need to be watched and segments cut off, you know, so that they could be reviewed later, I can do that. If a person needs to be reached out to as for a guest, I can do that. I can, and then finally, I can show you my peepee. That's not the Goof and Gaff, but it's part of the Goof and Gaff. So I started working on a PowerPoint presentation because I know Ethan loves them. And I think I realized why people don't inherently trust me right away. So, bear with me. And so I was watching this documentary, Explore With Us, and they talked about this guy. And don't mind the PowerPoint presentation. I've only made one, but I can work on this and get better at this. I've only made one, the one that I sent to the H3 podcast. That was my first ever PowerPoint presentation. This is my second. I had less time to create this, but I was watching this documentary on this person right here. He committed a crime against his mom, and there's a couple similarities between him and I, and I'm starting to understand why I think I'm starting to understand why people are a little hesitant of me. Oh, this is awkward. Let's go back to the original guy. Hold on. All right, round of applause. I basically what I'm trying to say is that because I resemble a serial killer, I can honestly say I've never thought of once harming anybody. That's all I got. I mean, there's not much more of a defense for that. All right, finally. My last resort. Now, I've watched a lot of shows, and I didn't want to have to do this. I'm gonna have to use my nuclear bomb. If that wasn't a good argument enough, there is a guru that showed me the guarantee way to get on the H3 podcast. He is a very intelligent man, and I don't know how it worked out for him in this scenario, right? Because he visualized being on the Ellen Show. I don't know if you've ever really accomplished that. But you guys leave me no choice. So with that being said, you're about to get visualized.
I will get close.
I need to do the Goblin Camp.
You got to do the Goblin Camp, dude. That's a big deal.
I'm like super over leveled for it because I think they're like level 2 and I'm like almost level 5. Like,
Yep. Sorry, guys. I had to do it. You forced me to. I can't believe I pulled it off. That was so slick. That took so much work and planning. You have no idea. All right, back to it. All right, so that's going to conclude today's show. Thank you so much for watching. Today's special sponsor is Martin Sanchez, so please follow or don't feel free to donate. If you don't donate to me, donate to Martin Sanchez. He's the one who created this background drop for me. I got it from Pixabay.org. Photoshop.com, free stock images, and obviously sponsor if you like these, right? And if you end up using them. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you have been watching, that's going to conclude today's episode of the Johnny Danger podcast. So as always, thanks for watching, and as always, peace.
A do ba do ba do 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 ba do.